Hey guys, hope you're having a great day so far. Just gonna jump in. Let me see if we got the audio working. Yeah, so just about to go live here. So give me a second. All right, so let me get this up. I should have waited, but yeah. So just want to talk a little bit about the market today. What's going on? What happened today? It looks like everything's rebounding. Give me something. Yeah, that's good. So let's go ahead and start this. So yeah, so I'm glad you guys could join in on different social media platforms. I just want to jump in and talk a little bit about some things that happen in the market right now, and just have a little chat with you guys and see what you think about things, where we think things are going, and just like make a plan going forward, right? So we got some people coming in on YouTube, LinkedIn user. I appreciate it. Let me get some people on here. Let me see. Yeah. So, like, what do you guys? Let's talk about the market right now, right? Because, the thing about it is that what happened is that mortgage company fell in China. But what happened? A lot of people ask me, why is it coming back? Right? What's going on? Why would it come back? And the reason is because it's simple. Is that it was an overreaction, right? It seems like this company is not going to doesn't have roots deep enough for people to hurt the worldwide economy. So now the market's rebounding, right? That's kind of what we expect in something like that. What we talked about a couple of days ago is that it probably was an overreaction, right? It probably was. Like, you can never say anything with certain because it's the market we're dealing with. It's kind of hard to do that, but it was probably going to rebound. But it still doesn't mean that the market is coming back. We don't know, right? That's why we always got to constantly practice risk management, because we really don't know what's going on, right? So we're playing defense all the time. So that's just part of the game, right? Let me a second. Copy link. All right. Let me see. Go ahead and all right, so let's see what's going on here. So yeah, about the dip in crypto, that was probably a good idea, right? Because crypto, the thing about when the market falls like this, right? It's really a good to be honest, it's a good opportunity, and the reason why is because it's a good opportunity, and the reason why is because sometimes when markets fall, some of these assets will fall. They're really not supposed to fall, right? Like we talked about over the last week, it's a good opportunity to get into these things while they're low, right? Like, for example, the stock market was dropping, right? So then everybody panicked and sold everything, including crypto. Crypto really didn't have a reason to go down, right? But it went down anyway because of what happened in some bank or some mortgage company in China. But that's an opportunity here. Is that a lot of times you got to keep our ears and eyes open, because if something like that happens, that's always a good opportunity to get things at a lower price, right? And like I said, even though sometimes it may not work out, but most cases it will, right? Because the market, a lot of times when it's a hard drop, it almost always rebounds the next day. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I can't tell you what's coming, but a lot of times it will rebound into the next day, right? So any questions? I want to answer some questions today, man. I want to see if you guys have any questions for me. And I just want to answer some questions. That's what I'm here for. I'll spend like 30 minutes with you guys, answer any questions you guys got. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, right? We got a question. No question. Was Ethereum going its way? Let's talk a little bit about Ethereum then. I don't have any problem with that. Anybody in Tampa? Because we got a brunch coming up, man, in 2 weeks. So if you're in Tampa, I would suggest we got a crypto brunch on October 3rd. coming up. And I'm working on getting a CTO of Celsius to join us there. So hopefully he will. But like I said, we don't know yet, but we'll see, right? So got a question. What do you think about Peloton, right? It's below the 200 MA. Now, Peloton is some exciting news. I believe in Peloton, right? I do believe in Peloton. But the problem, I'm going to do chat overlay. I believe in Peloton, right? There we go. So it's Valentine Production says, what do you think about Peloton, right? It's below the 200 MA. Now, Peloton, to be honest, should be higher than it is, right? I don't, because what happened is that a lot of, there was, because it was a little bit doing with their management. The management team didn't really execute really well last year at the end of the year when they probably should have been profitable into the Christmas season. They didn't execute that well. And then something happened that, they couldn't control, is that, unfortunately, a child got killed on one of their treadmills and just killed the stock price after that, right? It killed the stock price after that because people got scared. And then the thing about Peloton is that they only had a small window, right? And then if you guys remember, about a year ago, we talked about that window with Peloton, is that they're going to have competitors come into the marketplace. Everybody has a bike now, and some people have bikes better than Peloton at a better price. So now they took a big hit to their brand. And that's really one of the only things they had, is they had that luxury brand at first, that, not really luxury, semi-luxury, I say, brand. So people, they had a good opportunity at the time. They had a real good opportunity, but it didn't really materialize, right? So now it may be a chance to get back. Let me see where Peloton's at right now. Peloton actually should be higher, even though all that, sometimes the market is not fair. Where is Peloton at now? Was it $94? Well, yeah. So I gotta take a look at this, but I don't know. I have to take a deeper look into it. I don't know what, but I mean, it may be an opportunity there. But like I said, I don't know for sure. Where's the link for the brunch in Tampa? In bio? Nah, just you DM me and I'll give you that link. So if you want that link, just DM me and I'll give you the link. All right. Got any more questions? So we got a question from LinkedIn. So Melanie Thomas says, do you think this is the end of the Bitcoin cycle? Well, I think we're close to it. And like we talked about, if you go back to all the Bitcoin cycles, right, each one lasts about 18 months. 2017, it started in May of 2017 and it ended in January the last Bitcoin cycle started in May of 2016. It ended in January of 18, right? That's about 17 months, right? So 17 months is the average cycle, right? So the last cycle began in May of 2020. So now we're approaching that 18-month cycle. Now it's not based on time. That cannot, but normally that's what it takes. Normally it takes about 6 months for the halving to take effect, or the halving to take effect, which happened back in May. And then secondly, is that, once the price moves up, it has to go through certain cycles and everything, So right now where we're at, we're about, I think we got like 4 or 5 months left. And I think September is a volatile month anyway. So, I mean, whatever happens in crypto this month, I'm going to throw out the window. But in October and November are going to tell us where Bitcoin's going, right? And that's, if something crazy happens, that's like with the pandemic, you can't control that, right? That means that the whole world is dropping, right? We can't control that. But if nothing else happens, I still think we got $100,000 Bitcoin coming up by the end of the year or early next year, right? Got any more questions here? Nobody has questions? If I left you a DM on IG. Okay, so let's get some questions. I'm answering questions today. Let me see if we got a question on Instagram. It says, is this the end and the next one as far as Bitcoin? I already answered that. It's not that Bitcoin is never, it's not going to be the end, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, the Bitcoin's not going to just end and it's over, because the technology behind, that's why it's so important for you guys to understand the technology. That's why I always tell people, make sure you go out and learn. Understand what this is, because once you understand it, once you get it, once you see the power of blockchain, all of a sudden, you're not worried about holding it. What does it matter? You'll hold it at that time, right? It don't really matter. But if you don't know, you're looking at it as some kind of investment, then think about that. What's going to happen is that you're going to panic. It's like in your mind, it's like a pyramid scheme. As soon as the people start selling, you panic and sell too, because you didn't understand what you were buying. And that goes far. That goes what you were investing in. That goes for everything you invest in. You should understand what you're investing in. You understand what you're doing so that you can make better decisions, right? That's the point of taking class. That's the point of learning. That's the point of my mentorship. People on the so people, you text the word text mentor to text the word mentor to 888-709-2614 if you're interested in that. But that's what the point of all this for. Like I said, you don't have to do what I do. Like I guide you through this stuff, but if you want to go the other way, you can mentor yourself, right? So if you want to go out and go on YouTube, put together a plan for you. Say every week I'm going to do this, do this. That's how you get ahead in life, right? Is that you can every weekend you can have a course of action and say, look, man, I'm going to learn get a book like Dummies, Bitcoin for Dummies or Blockchain for Dummies, and break it down into weekly sections, and then just study it yourself on the weekends. Because I'm telling you, even for understanding blockchain in general is going to put you far ahead, even in your career, even in your life, in your investing, right? It's not just for investing in Bitcoin, right? Is that you got to remember this technology's only been out 10 years, right? If it's only been out 10 years, that means that anybody who got 3, 4, 5 years experience is an expert now, right? So that's what I told people 5 years ago, but nobody listened. But this is a unique opportunity to learn about something that maybe a lot of people don't have any, a big experience in, right? And you can turn your career around like that. It's a lot of opportunities in blockchain that goes past investing. Somebody says they like YouTube better than so we got a question. Are you going to do a class on how to take profits in a bearish market? Ah, I'm not going to do a specific class. Now, I talk about that all the time. That's what's called risk management. You should already have a plan. Anytime you invest in something, it don't matter if it's crypto, real estate, stocks, or even a business. I'm starting a business. I'm building it, whatever. I should already have in my mind. That's what a business plan is for. How am I going to get out of this? Right? And so many people go into businesses and they don't understand. They don't have an exit strategy. Every business you start, every endeavor that involves money, that you're going to put in your money and you're expecting an outcome, you should already have an exit strategy going into it. Like, how is this going to end? How am I going to get my return on this? It can't go on forever. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people will start businesses and they'll say, well, I'm passing it to my kids. Well, the biggest problem with that is that you end up passing a bad business to your kids because you didn't plan your exit. In that case, was giving the business to your kids. So that should be planned properly because you want to give your kids a solid business that has very little work involved, that has everything in order. So the kid you're not passing the kid a job. You want to pass your kids a business, not a job, right? So that's what this is. That's what I'm saying about even when you have a small investment. I'm going to invest in Bitcoin, get out in 3 months. What are my price points? Well, I'm going for 30% gain. So when I get to 30%, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to hold it. If it comes down 10%, I'm going to sell it. Or if I buy this asset and it drops 30%, I'm out. You have to have something in your mind already with how this is going to plan out. It don't matter what it is. Buying real estate as an investment, you got to have how is this going to pan out? Am I going to hold this at Airbnb it? Well, how long am I going to hold it? Well, I'm going to hold it for 10 years. Well, what am I going to do after 10 years? Because you know that the property in real estate depreciates over time, right? The land goes up, but you're going to end up putting a lot of work into it after a certain amount of time. So you have to have all that in your plan, right? Pass insurance down to your kids, right? You have to have all that in a plan, right? Because one of the worst stories I ever heard is a young lady who was in my mentorship program. Because mentorship program is for people in business and it's for stock people. It's for two paths, right? We have the business path, business and career path, and we got the stocks and investment path. And you can combine the two if you want to. Well, somebody that was on the stocks and on the career and business path, it was like a couple of years ago. She went through the whole mentorship and it ended up being a lot better for her. But she called me and the first call, she was crying. It was one of the saddest stories I've ever heard. Now, what's wrong? What's wrong with you, right? She said her parents owned a liquor store, right? And they passed it to her. This liquor store was unorganized. She had to work 80, 90 hours a week. It's like she lived there and she was losing money every week because what they passed her was a dying business, right? And it was so hard for her to work in the company and also turn it around, right? And she was crying. She felt like she was in hell. She felt like she was a slave to the job, right? So do you want to pass something like that to your kids? right? No, you don't want to do that. Definitely, you don't want to put past your kids slavery. That's crazy. Or entrapment or whatever it is. You don't want that, right? Your kids she could easily got a job somewhere and made more money. She was losing money in that business, but her parents pressured her to keep it, right? So she was in a lose-lose situation, right? But that's what happens, man. That's how these things work out, is that you have to have an exit strategy on everything you do when it deals with money. How am I going to get my money out? How is this going to end? How am I going to convert this to money? Now with Bitcoin, some people, it don't have to be always I'm going to sell in one. You can say, look, man, I believe in Bitcoin long term. I think it's going to replace fiat. So I'm going to hold it forever. Well, that's your exit strategy, right? So long as you got something, don't just buy it. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just watch it. Doesn't work. That's when you make the most mistakes. I'm going to tell you why. It's because when you go into an investment, a business, real estate deal, or whatever it is, when it deals with finance, if you don't have an exit strategy, but let's go back. When you make an exit strategy, you're making one big decision, right? When do I get out? And that's a lot easier. It's easy to make one big decision. Now, if you don't have an exit strategy, what happens is that every single day you have to make a decision. Every single hour you got to make a decision. Every single minute you got to make a decision based on what the situation is that day. So for example, in stocks, you don't have an exit strategy. Well, the stock's ticking every day. Every time it ticks, you making it, should I sell? Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I buy? Driving you crazy. And then you making 100 decisions a day, you're more likely to make a big mistake, right? So any more questions? So that's why I took the exit strategy advice. Yeah, all right. That's exactly what that's the biggest thing that a lot of beginners in stocks do. And the thing about beginners in business, I'm gonna tell you this, is that you'll see it a lot of times, right? You'll see it a lot of times that people will start a business and they'll fall in love with their business, right? And it's successful or not, it don't matter. And you'll have a business and you'll fall in love with that, right? And you don't want to keep it forever because the business becomes part of you, which is okay. I mean, sometimes you need that kind of enthusiasm to push that business to be successful. But it also causes you to make bad decisions. How do I know this? Because it happened to me. It happened. It happened to me. That's how I know, right? Is that you can fall in love with your own business. You can fall in love with your own decisions. You can fall in love with your own stocks and crypto, right? And that's what happens to a lot. They fall in love with their decisions, right? And then, like any other love, once you're in there deep, you can't make decisions clearly. If I love this business is part of me now. I can no longer make good decisions based on this. So that's why I start losing money. I hold it too long. I turn down big deals that somebody could have bought it from me because I love this business to death. Now, the same thing happens with crypto and stocks. I love the stock. I love the crypto. I'll hold it too long. It'll start dropping. I'll save it. And I end up losing money on the deal. For those of you, we do have the momentum strategy class, which is tomorrow. So if you guys are interested, it's a live class, which we're going to go over the momentum strategy, which is one of the most efficient strategies to trade stocks there is, right? It's easy to learn. It takes about an hour and a half to teach you. So like I said, if you're interested in that live class, click the link in my bio and sign up. It's at 8:30 tomorrow night. It's a live class. You guys can ask, the questions are open. You can ask whatever you want. We're going to have charts. We're going to show you guys how to do it. So make sure you click the link and sign up for that class, right? Mentorship. DM me the word mentor. I'll send you information, or you can text me the text mentor to 888-709-2614, and we'll get that. And I'll make sure you get that information. What do you think? You think ATR should, where's ATR at after hours? I haven't even been watching. ATR is a stock that we talked about 2 days ago. So yeah, we're way up now, 1744. Now, that's the thing about it. Like if you've been making money with ATR and these stocks, I've been saying, man, buy a few badges down at the bottom of the screen, right? Because sometimes you guys don't want to buy badges. That's like, if you guys noticed, the studio has been getting updated as you guys are buying these badges, right? I got better lights now. I got this microphone. I got a way better camera. If you can see it, people on Instagram can't see it, but the people on YouTube can see that it's a very, very high definition camera I'm using now. I got a lot of equipment. I got a Focusrite. I got a lot of audio equipment now. So, like I said, is these you guys help me with those badges on Instagram to do these things, right? So I appreciate you guys for that. Yeah, ATR is going way up. It's 1745 after hours. How much was that when I called it out? Does somebody know? I appreciate that badge, T Cave. Thank you for the badge. It's my badge so I could buy a Lamborghini. Now I can't fit in a Lamborghini, man, even if I wanted one. That's a class tomorrow night, Brian. It's the momentum strategy class. I probably not. If I buy a Lamborghini, you guys know I'm extremely rich. If you see me, if you see me put a Lambo on my profile and I say, hey man, I just bought this Lambo, that means I got so much money from something that I don't even care no more. I'm just buying because I can't fit in a Lambo comfortably, not at all. I'm 6'6". So if you guys ever see me with a Lambo, that means I got so much money that I don't even care no more. I just bought a Lambo just to have it a couple of days. So I mean, so, I mean, if you ever see me in a Lambo, that means a Mondo, man. You got like 30, 40, $50 million in the bank. That's the only way you will see me with a Lambo. I'll tell you that right now. And maybe the Lamborghini truck, but I mean, I don't think that's that's the only way you see me with a Lambo, man. I'll keep my brother got a Porsche 911. He's 6'4" and he fits in it. It's actually a lot of room in the Porsche 911. I could drive that, but I would rather just I got my Escalade, man. I'll just keep Escalades as long as I can. Maybe a Range Rover eventually. I'm trying to choose now because I want to buy the new Escalade. I got 2018 now, but I want to get a new one. But I'm kind of trying to decide between the Range Rover because the Range Rover, they got a new body style coming out. So I really don't want to wait on it. So I may just get the new Escalade that's out, right? So I'm thinking about it now. Bentley Continental. I don't want a car. I'd rather have a truck. I'd rather have trucks, man. I feel more comfortable in trucks. Maybe the Rolls Royce, but somebody said, what kind of camera you using? I'm using a Sony. Let me see what I'm using. I'm using a Sony ZV-E10 I got from Best Buy. It's pretty good though. I mean, you guys can't see it on Instagram, but it's pretty good. And the people on Instagram, they convinced me to get an iPhone. So I finally got an iPhone, man. I hated that. I mean, I feel like I betrayed the Androids people, man, with Google because I never had an iPhone. To everybody on Instagram was like, man, you gotta get an iPhone. So I one day broke down and got one because I guess the picture quality was low. Um, I think ATR will drop tomorrow. Yeah, it could. Like I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow, but it is in an uptrend. It does have momentum for multiple days, so I can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's going up a lot after hours. But what's today? Wednesday. Like I don't know. I can't tell you. I just knew that. I mean, when we checked it out in the CNC. We checked it out on my live a few days ago. I saw the momentum, and that's when I told you guys about it. But like I said, I can't tell you where it's going to go now. We up 30, 40%. That's what we talk about. We talk about when the jet being in the sky, right? We talk about that. Is that I try to find stocks when they're on the ground, right? Because I'm gonna go back to some of you guys don't know what that analogy is. So we got an analogy on my Instagram, in my little groups or whatever it's called. Nobody takes notice into the jets in the sky, right? Because a lot of times when we drive by airport stuff, jets are all around the ground, all around us, but nobody pays attention to that, right? Nobody pays attention to that. But when the jet's in the sky, a lot of people, even today, I'm amazed that jets can fly. That's one of the most like amazing things for me to see a jet take off, right? But the thing about it is that that's when everybody takes a look at it, right? When the jet's in the sky, everybody's looking at it. But when it was on the ground, it was gassing up, it was getting under maintenance, it was about to take off. Nobody knows it, right? So then it takes off, everybody sees it. But that's what's happening with Ater now. Is that we were talking about it when it was on the ground. It was actually negative the day I talked about it. It was like 2-3% down, right? But we're able to see the potential. Like we can see the potential of a jet on the ground. You have to be able to see the potential of these stocks and assets when they're on the ground, right? Because once they go up, the risk is higher. Same thing as that a jet, right? Like, what's the easiest time to get on a jet? It's when it's on the ground, right? Now, once it's in the sky, you can still get in there, but it's going to be it's extremely risky, and you could kill yourself, right? Trying to get on a jet that's already near. I think special forces or something can do that, but it's very hard, right? But that's the analogy we use, right? You got to be able to see things when they're on the ground. Android picture quality is better. Yeah, I don't know, man. It could be. GR, where we at? Casper? Where is Casper? I didn't even look at it. Casper's probably like $6 now. It's at 474, 497. I still believe in Casper. Like I said, I doubled down when it dropped below $6, but I really have been looking at it in the last week or so, 2 weeks. I still believe in Casper. It's just a matter of time before it goes back to the projections that I talked about before. I still think it has a lot of potential. Like I said, even when I said it was going to be a 6-month, 8-month play, right? We're only like a month and a half in from that. Any more questions, guys? Anybody got any question on YouTube? Like I said, this is an open question forum. I'm trying to answer. Anybody got any questions on Instagram? I missed the original live about the stock, but I went back and watched today and bought it early and still made some coins today. That's a good job. The Evergrande Group, is that, you mean Evergrande? That's the Chinese company that's failing. And I know you guys saw that company had went up 30% today, but you got to remember that's a dead cat bounce. I mean, I wouldn't be playing around with that stock. You got to remember, for those of you who've been around long enough, you know the same thing happened to Lehman Brothers, right? When Lehman Brothers failed, right, there was dead cat bounces all the way down. What a dead cat bounce is that when a stock falls hard, right? You got to remember, there's more people in stocks than just people buying and selling the stock, right? There's shorts, there's puts, all this stuff in the stock. So when a stock goes all the way down, the shorts have to buy it back, like a short squeeze. So it causes the stock to go back up a little bit, but then it goes back down in its original path. So you got to be careful with a lot of these stocks that are going bankrupt and trying to time this stuff, right? Sometimes you can, but you got to be constantly think about risk management, because these stocks like Hertz. I remember Hertz burned a lot of people a year ago because it went bankrupt. The stock fell all the way down like a few dollars. Then it did a dead cat bounce and went up to like 7. Some people bought it, and they held on to it too long. Then went all the way back down onto the OTC charts, down in the pennies. People lost a lot of money, but it was because they didn't understand how these stocks function. When a stock falls that bad because of a real valid reason, there's gonna be a little bounce back. That's called a dead cat bounce. I mean, I know it sounds like a funny name, but that's the real name for it. I encourage you guys to look it up, right? Do a search for it. Dead cat bounce is what it's called. It's when an asset goes all the way down, drops back up a little bit because the shorts have to close out, or some other things that happen, or some people thinking they found a bottom. It causes that little bounce back. Then it goes all the way back down. That's called a dead cat bounce. And a lot of people, especially beginners, get trapped into that. It's also called a bull trap. Is that people think it's going back to the original highs. They get into it, they get trapped in, and it goes all the way back down. A dead cat bounce causes a bull trap that causes people to get locked in and lose all their money. Remember, the market does not create wealth. It only moves it around, right? It only moves it around. What's that? How is my wiring process going? I don't know what that means. Is that like saying I got bad wiring in my head or something? Is that some kind of some kind of like, I don't know. Somebody asked me if I'm still writing that book. Yeah, I'm still writing the book. The book is called Engineering Wealth. And yeah, it's going to be, it's still going to be, it's not out yet, but I still need about 6 months to finish it. So I am going to finish that pretty soon. Anybody got anything to say? When is the FinTech class? FinTech class is next week. So the FinTech class is next week. So click the link in my bio if you're interested in that. I said, what investment would you suggest now? I don't know, man. Like like I told you, September, I'm just out of the market really. So I'm just kind of like watching. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. So I'm kind of like just sitting back watching right now. So I'm not. I don't know. I don't really. I try to stay out of the market in September. I got burned too many times in September, so I kind of stay out of the market now. I see a lot of people asking the same question on GTRX. Is it a long-term hold? I don't know what that question means. XRP thoughts and when Cooking the Book is coming out. Cooking the Books is coming out. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I got an idea for a cooking show, but I have to, like, I'm building a new house and I gotta get into that new house first before before I start this. I gotta have a real kitchen, right? And my kitchen I got now is too small for it. There's too much echo in that room. So I got a better. I'm getting a new house built. So as soon as that house is built in a couple of years, I'll start that cooking show, Cooking the Books. What that is going to be like a cooking show because I like cooking. And I'm just going to like incorporate financial topics into that cooking show. Uh, but so XRP thoughts. So XRP, like I go back over what I said before a few days ago. So XRP is something I don't like the concept of XRP, right? But I'm able to remove my emotion from the actual decision making process, right? Is that XRP was or I guess finalizing their investigation of their problems with the SEC, which they never should have had in the first. That's another thing. See, I don't like XRP because it goes against everything in crypto that I loved, from the beginning. But on the other hand, the SEC had no right to go after XRP, right? The only reason they went after them because they had a structure. It was the only crypto out there that they could attack like that because of the way that they're set up. So it really was unfounded anyway. So it was just a stupid. It was kind of stupid for them to even go after them, but they did. And so that happened. So what happened with XRP is that now it's artificially deflated. The price should be higher. So what's happening now is that once this XRP gets back on the exchanges, it gets back on the market, the price is going to be XRP right now should be like $10, if not more. So when it does get back to the exchanges, when it does get back to where it's supposed to be, that market price is going to get filled pretty fast from where it's at today, right? I think so. As long as it's not at the end of the crypto cycle, it has to happen in the next 6 to 8 months, though. All right, guys. Like I said, I just want to jump on for about 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys having I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your night.